You are now listening to TDL on silverandblackpride.com.
This play used to be run with Henry Ruggs, and we got Darren Waller on the choice route, Hunter Renfrow on the shallow. But I want you guys to watch Tyrann Mathieu here, okay?
God, you see the ball is out here. He's breaking on the ball. I think if he got a little closer.
Everybody, we are back. It is Tape Don't Lie. It is your favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders breakdowns. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. It's your first time here checking this out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you dislike it. You guys already know what to do. Leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. Hey, leave a comment if you dislike it too, if you dislike the show. And you already know what to do. Check out manscaped.com. That's the promo. That's the sponsorship. 20% off plus free shipping. I know Christmas is already over, but maybe you got a birthday coming up. You never know. So go ahead and check that out for manscaped.com. And then go ahead and follow me and BD at BDWilliams18 and at the Mark John NFL. So the Raiders win ugly again. 2 ugly wins in a row. This is some December football type of stuff we're seeing here. This is interesting. Some December football looking type of plays here. 17-13. Josh DeBoe now has to tweet that Derek Carr is 24-15 with 20 wins. The Raiders defense holds the team under 20 points or less. So he had the 23-16 loaded up just in case, but it's now 24-15. So now the Raiders defense really played I think their best game of the season. I don't know if your opinion, BD. I know you're gonna say it's probably Drew Lock and maybe some of that, but I still think it was a confidence builder when they got the ball and it was 17-13, especially after the 4th and 2 where they gave up that play and then they got a stop and they forced them to punt. I think that was huge. I think it was huge for the defense's confidence going forward because letting Nick Mullins go right down the field, that has to hurt. I don't care what it says. You let Nick Mullins go right down the field, right? So I think that's a confidence builder. So that's why I feel like it was their best performance. I think the offense looked like they just looked like a blooper reel half the game and then looked really good half the game. So,
So defense obviously played well. Okay, here we go. We got a comment. That's kind of one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Shout out. Okay, that's one of the reasons. But yeah, not taking anything away from it. I'm gonna have fun watching the defense and putting together the cut-ups. Trust me, I'm going to be probably ragging a lot on Drew Lock too, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And side note, it's really funny. You showed me that tweet from that Broncos beat reporter, right? Or I don't know what website he writes for, but anyways, he was talking about how Drew Lock should be able to carve up the Raiders defense or something like that. Yeah. And he showed like a graph. Like that means anything, right? Because
EPA, man,
you're on the tape don't lie. You're on the tape don't lie. That we don't care about graphs around here, okay? So he thought Drew Lock was going to carve up the Raiders defense. I thought that was hilarious. I got a funny tweet I'm about to fire off a little later on after we get off this. So that's a side note. But what I'm most impressed about, is the way this team ran the ball today. Mm-hmm. I think there's a little bit of pressure, especially after that fumble from Josh Jacobs. What did we see him start doing? We saw him pressing the line of scrimmage with shoulders square, and instead of bouncing, cutbacks. And cutbacks are effective in an inside zone scheme. Bouncing is not effective, right? And it's so funny because Tiki Barber, he was like, oh, he missed that hole, and he needs to stay square, and he needs, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you've been saying about Josh Jacobs all year, Tiki Barber broke down for the people. If you were watching the broadcast and you watch Tape Don't Lie, I'm sure you were like, okay, yeah, that's what Marcus has been saying all year about Josh Jacobs. But kind of after that fumble, I think he got more disciplined, got more efficient. Okay, and look, the proof's in the pudding because he has all of the physical traits that you need to play running back. Okay, it's just about some nuance of the game, and I think sometimes you need that wake up call, right? To be like, okay, there's a fire underneath me. Peyton Barber's about to start stealing my touches because I'm losing the ball here. Let me, stay focused. So hopefully, we see that from Josh Jacobs for the rest of the year. That's easily the best game he's had in a long time, as long as I can remember, honestly.
Probably since the Browns game last year, or the Browns and the Chargers games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened at halftime, but he woke up. I mean, I think he should stop trying to play hero and just kind of just hit the holes, get that ball going. I don't know what happened at halftime, but he came out a man possessed a little bit, and he ran the ball like crazy. You know what I mean? And he still had the ball security issues. I mean, he still fumbled again. He still took that ball away, and after that fumble the second time, he started, putting two hands on the ball, making sure he's getting it going, because I mean, a lot of it is his ball security, man. He's just having the ball, he's loafing in, he's running like this, and it's bouncing off his knee, man. I mean, you play for the Raiders, man. You can't be running the ball with one hand. It's gonna bounce off your knee. This is it's the uniform you got sometimes. So you got to be secure, you got to be disciplined, and I think that once he's doing that, because you watch Peyton Barber, every time Peyton Barber comes in the game, he gets like 8 yards, because that's what I was talking about. I don't think this run blocking is that bad, and I've been trying to say that for weeks. I don't think they're really run blocking that bad. They get a lot of mess from whatever analytics or whatever people want to put out there, but I think it was more about just Jacobs just trusting it, because every time Peyton Barber comes in there, bro, just goes right through him. You know what I mean? Just goes right through him, and he gets 8 or 9 yards every single time. And I think that's kind of shows Jacobs what he needs to do. And every time Barber comes in there and Jacob comes in, he starts trusting a little bit, and he gets some more yards. So yeah, if the Raiders can run the ball, it's going to be a great, because I mean, that's every team's weakness that they're playing the next couple of weeks. So
right. I mean, it's kind of like the money ball approach right now in football.
Yeah.
Defenses are really good against the pass. Probably not as good as they have been, just historically against the run. But yeah, I think this offense definitely needs the run game to start stepping up and getting back there. I think that has actually maybe gives them a chance. Can we talk about playoffs? Should we talk about playoffs? Like mathematically, it's in the hunt.
To be honest, I mean, the Chargers game might be the bigger game. Because it all depends on what the Chargers do the next couple of weeks.
They're free falling.
They're free falling too, and they got the Broncos next week. And, Broncos do play good defense. Nobody wants to talk about, but the Broncos play good defense, because this Colts game is going to be tough, man. It's good. I mean, that's
Chargers can't run the ball like the Raiders just did.
Right? Yeah, and the Colts game is going to be tough, man. That's gonna be a tough one for me.
Yeah,
I don't know that coaching. That's that might be like a coaching staff game. You know what I mean? So
that's next week, right?
Yeah, it's next week. So
Colts are decimated with COVID,
mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. So I mean, that helps the Raiders' chances a little bit there. I mean, Colts, if they're healthy, that's one of the hardest teams to beat in football right now. But they do have this rash of COVID happening. Okay, they're going to be without Darius Leonard, among maybe perhaps others. So it's definitely maybe a little brighter of a perspective, but I still I agree with you. Super nervous about that. That's a really good team, and the Raiders, if we're being quite honest, if we're talking about look at that team, look at the way that the offense gave the ball away. Okay.
Yeah.
Against a playoff caliber team,
they get blown out like 41-17.
Yes, exactly. So so that's what I'm a little worried about going up against the Colts next week. Like, if they're like, no, we are going into the playoffs here, we're not losing out because of COVID, and they come, and play like they can. I don't know if the Raiders have shown so far that they can compete with that. So
yeah, exactly. And speaking of the offense, I think the offense, even Derek Carr itself, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's asking why he's fumbling, and the reason why he's fumbling is because he's trying to make plays, and like that 3rd and 6 play. I mean, you just got to get rid of the damn football. You know what I mean? Like, you got to manage the game. I mean, the way these games are playing, your defense is playing better. You have to trust the defense. And I really feel like the offense is still playing like they don't trust them. Like, why are we calling these super deep shots on 3rd and 6 when you got Drew Lock and your defense is controlling the game? Like when you watch Bill Belichick and some of these other coordinators, and they have a game feel, okay? And they're preaching to the quarterback too, like what the game feel too, like what's happening. What needs to happen? He can't be trying to duck past a sack. Just take the damn sack if you have to. You know what I mean? Like you can't give them that momentum with you trying to make a play, because one, you're not a playmaker. Two, I said this on my little pocket awareness when I rank quarterbacks. Like, bro, just be yourself. Who cares about what these people are saying about you? I don't care if you check it down right there. Get rid of the ball right there. Throw it at somebody's feet. I don't care. It's 3rd and 6. Manage the damn game. You know what I mean? Like, play quarterback, manage the damn game. You ain't got to be a playmaker. You can't break tackles. You're not Deshaun Watson. You're not Russell Wilson. You're Derek Carr. Play from the pocket, bro. And just throw the damn ball. Check it down. It's okay. Like, who cares? Let's just win these games. Like, I don't care like how you win it. I don't care what your stats are. I don't care what these people think if you're not throwing it deep, you're not hitting Deshaun Jackson. I'm gonna say this. I don't give a fuck. Like, check the ball down, get rid of the football, and and let the ball go. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, manage the game. Like, that's what a quarterback job is to do. But anyway, sorry. I had to go on the rant. Sorry.
So
I was bothering
lost
me.
Out
ever since that fumble. Ever since that fumble has been bothering me, so I wanted to say that. But go ahead.
The fumble was his worst play, obviously. By the way, we lost out on any chance of monetizing this YouTube video. Thank you, Marcus. No, I'm just kidding. But I gotta find it and bleep it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Go ahead.
But the really. What I'm worried about. Wait, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make that joke mostly, but I forget what I was gonna go ahead and follow up with that.
Go ahead.
Here's something that we could also switch gears and talk about as well. Head coaching candidates going forward. What do you think? You have any in mind?
Oh, for me, for head coaching candidates, you know, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm kind of looking at Pete Carroll a little bit. I'm looking at Pete Carroll.
You think he's on the way out?
I think they're gonna choose Russell Wilson over him.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Russell Wilson's a near Hall of Fame quarterback. They're gonna choose a quarterback over the coach. Why would they move on from the quarterback when they just have a losing season? So Pete Carroll, somebody I'm looking at, which I mean, I know that sounds old guy, but I mean, he is a type of he's a prepared guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they would do with him, but it's just somebody that I'm just keeping an eye on because I think that would be like, that's the safe hire is Pete Carroll. That's a safe one, right? But I'm keeping an eye on him. What happens with them and the Russell Wilson. Some other ones.
I would be so upset if Pete Carroll came because that means Gus Bradley would stay, guaranteed.
But maybe he talked Gus Bradley into being different because Pete Carroll's not doing the cover 3 simple thing. He'd be like, Gus, let's get to 2021. We got to play a little bit more too high than we'd like to. I know what we like to do, but I think he'd get to Gus a little bit, right?
What about Doug Peterson? Because my thing with Doug Peterson is he's going to have a fresh approach. He proved that throughout Philly. You know, his time in Philly, like they did fun stuff. They had a lot of groundbreaking scheme, at least in the Super Bowl run. And I do think that he would be, kind of took a year off from football. He'd be able to hit the ground running. Maybe already has a staff ready to go. So, what do you think about Doug Peterson?
I don't like how Doug Peterson handled Carson Wentz. I don't like that. I don't like how he handled the quarterback. So that's why I don't like him. Because
there's a lot of.
I don't know because just watching Frank Reich on Hard Knocks, I'm telling you, I'm just watching Frank Reich on Hard Knocks, and then hear how Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson used to go at it. I think there's something to that. So I don't know how he handled the quarterback a lot about it. I think you got to be, a little bit, especially with a head case like a Carson Wentz type of guy who's probably just he's not really he's just kind of out there.
Yeah.
You got to handle him with some better leadership, and that's why I think somebody like Frank Reich is handling Carson Wentz and he's performing better with him than he did with Doug Peterson. So that's why I'm worried about Doug. But I don't know because any quarterback, it doesn't matter. Like I don't like how Doug handled Carson. I don't like it. I mean, that's your quarterback. You got to try to figure out something. You got to work it out. You know what I mean? Like that. You paid him a lot of money. You're working with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But another secret guy too. I really like that would be a crazy hire that me and you like is somebody like Patrick Graham or something like that. That'd be a crazy hire. But
I mean, I haven't heard about his name at all. And, so we'll see about that.
As long as it's not a college guy. Just knowing it's not a college guy, I'm cool. I mean, Jim Harbaugh's the only college guy. That's it. because he's like a Pete Carroll type of thing where he was in NFL and he was successful.
And
he went to college and he's successful and he comes back. So I see people talking about Jim Harbaugh a lot, but I would be cool with Jim Harbaugh.
I would be cool
because Big Fangio's getting fired. Let's keep it real, guys, which is also a great thing for us.
Bisaccia, yeah.
Big Fangio's getting fired.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, okay, yeah. So
he is, right? He's gonna get fired, right? He's not gonna.
You want someone from his staff? You want to poach someone?
You want him, right? Don't you want him to DC
as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be better than a head coach for sure.
Bro. What Harbaugh and Fangio? I'm all right. I'm cool. I'm all right. I'll be all right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I like that. And you have that benefit because Bradley has, except for against the Chiefs, unfortunately, but Bradley has shown, against the Broncos going in, like he can game plan against, the interdivision rivals. Like he used to have a really good record, but it's because of that familiarity within the conference, staying within the AFC West. Vic Fangio, he'd already have. He'd be able to hit the ground running. He'd have to change up some scheme, but Trayvon Merrick would be a star in a Vic Fangio defense.
I was gonna say this is a big game for me because the Raiders beat the Broncos and Vic Fangio's getting fired, so I'm excited about that. That means he's gonna be a free agent because he's gonna be, every team's gonna be coming after him. I'm sure Brandon Staley might even try to come after him. Brandon Staley might try to bring him in because they suck on defense right now. So Brandon Staley's like, hey man, like come help out my defense. He might try to do that. Brandon, that's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a war for Vic Fangio. There really is.
Yeah.
And, if you can get Jim Harbaugh, you know what I mean? And Harbaugh, that gives you a bigger factor because Fangio, everybody wants to run his defense right now. So since everybody wants to run his defense, he's the originator and he's evolving. He's still evolving. He's still getting better too, even at his old age, man. Yeah. He's going to make a lot of money, I think. If I was him, I'd be like,
yeah. If Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator, I'm going to have to I don't know. I'm going to have to be in the lab researching every playbook from all time to figure out how to chart that defense.
From 2012 to now.
Oh my gosh, it's so much volume. It's incredible the amount of things that he does back there.
That's why I'm 100% cool. Like Harbaugh, because I know what would come with that. I know Harbaugh. Harbaugh's going to put a good staff together too. That he's going to have good connections. People like him. He always has good coaching staffs. Even the coaching staff he had at Niners, they had Tom Sula as the defensive line coach. Tom Sula's an awesome defensive line coach. You got Vic Fangio's DC. So Harbaugh would be a good coach, a good pickup, but who knows? Michigan might give him $13 million if he does something.
Yeah, right now it looks like it's pretty comparable, and that being his alma mater might be tough to pull him away. If not, and Michigan could probably match whatever offer he gets from the NFL. To be quite honest with you, we're seeing some of these some of the things that these guys are getting paid right now in college football is crazy. The other thing is, I saw a report. I might be wrong. I'll try to search for it on Twitter right now. That Todd Bowles is going to be interviewed for the coach.
Don't listen to Jason LaCanfora.
Okay.
When I was at Raiders Wire, and Jason LaCanfora used to put something out, we weren't allowed to use it. So that tells you anything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's I don't know. Who knows? A lot of these guys, they hear their sources from like a drink at the bar. I learned that from going to the Senior Bowl. Drink in the bar source guys.
I've
heard some crazy stuff. I've heard some crazy stuff at the Senior Bowl. Trust me, I've heard craziness. That never happened from your favorite Twitter guys. I'm not gonna say their names, but from your favorite ones. But yeah. Who knows? But hopefully, I'm not really a fan of this coaching staff. I don't like just from the offensive standpoint. I'm going to keep the offensive standpoint. This game was basically kind of the same thing that I saw last game. Okay, so the offense is doing well. We got some good red zone, right? We did good in the red zone early on, right? We got some good drives. We're converting on third down. They're moving the football, right? And then we decide that we want to start to take people's heads off, right? I don't know what that, I know Greg Olsen, his career, he's been aggressive. Like if you go look at the top quarterbacks who've had the most explosive plays in the season, like they're all Greg Olsen quarterbacks, right? But so he's always aggressive. And I think at times you can't call double scissors when this game feel, man. It's 7-3. They weren't doing anything, and then when you turn the ball over, you give a team life. You know, I don't know. It's you just have to.
They're also struggling to find their identity. Like all of a sudden now they can run the ball. Like for the first time, you know, since Peyton Barber had that big game earlier on in the season. So that's got to be difficult for Olsen to try to figure out, like, okay, how should my play calling work when, some things are working, some things are not. But I mean, give him some credit here, Greg Olsen.
Yeah, I know that.
Some of these in-breaking things across the middle from like the second to like the third quarters were clutch. Okay, yeah. Like it was some really good. It was scheming and finding the rule breakers, right?
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job. You're going to have a lot of fun going back through it, I feel like, because a lot of things seem to be open, and usually that is not the case against this defense. So he must have been doing some things good. Obviously, there's turnovers that really hurt this. But in absent turnovers, let's just talk about this. Absent turnovers, okay?
Yeah.
The Broncos did not score a single point.
Yeah.
Right? So all of their points came off of turnovers. This very well could have been like 24-3 or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. But that's basically what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, game feel, right? Like if you have that type of defense and you're playing that type of way, right? You need to come back and make sure your offense complements that and just win the game. Like I know we want to see them take the top off the defense. We want to see them go over the top and burn people. But when it's 3rd and 6, man, and you're up 14-13, maybe you should call like a dragon, call slant flat. Maybe you call that type of play, and maybe it's conservative, right? It's a conservative play call, but maybe you just hit the flat and then guy breaks tackle, you get 6, or maybe then you go for it on 4th down, right? It's that you don't have to call the whatever they called that play where Derek Carr's taking a 7-step drop and you got a bad offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So
yep, yeah, I agree. I think that complementary football is something that this team is lacking at this point. Yeah. The way that the offense plays for large stretches of the game when it's holding onto the ball, trying to find these shots, like you're saying, downfield.
Yeah,
you would think that this defense is like peeling their ears back and getting a whole bunch of turnovers and taking chances. No, but this defense is like really conservative, right?
Yeah.
But then the offense is aggressive, so it's like, okay, wait, pick one. Like you have to have identity as a team.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, what's gonna happen is it's gonna bite you in the foot when all of a sudden like the aggressiveness doesn't pay off on offense because the defense isn't built to handle sudden change and and all that. So I think this team is struggling at this point, week 16, to find an identity for themselves, which is a terrible look, but understandable because of all the things that have happened, right?
Exactly.
So far this year. But that's just really sucks, especially when the Raiders are currently in the hunt. There's, hope, mathematical hope for the Raiders to make the playoffs, and I know that a lot of people want it. Right now, here are who I think are going to make the playoffs: Chiefs, Bills, Pats, Titans, Colts, Bengals, and then I have the Ravens. But obviously, it depends on if Lamar Jackson gets back. Chargers and Raiders would be the next up, depending on if the Ravens just completely.
Oh man, I
throw this off. I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to
it. Doesn't even matter if the Raiders beat the playoffs. If the Raiders beat the Chargers, man, I'm going off, bro. I can't wait. That the Chargers better win that game for everybody,
right?
Because I've been waiting on my. I've been waiting. I don't know. I might wait till after year 3. I might wait, but
yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh, they were. The Chargers carved us up, but they've been playing a lot.
I know.
They've been playing. It's the division stuff. Don't get too ahead of yourself. The division stuff, you never know how that stuff turns out.
Yeah. And anyways, anything else you want to talk about, man? You want to go through some of these comments here?
Okay, yeah. Let's go through some of the comments. If someone asks a question, we can answer some of that stuff right now for some of the people.
I do want to say the defense has not been good the past 10 weeks. So I don't know why people don't say that on that. Don't say that in the comments because it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has been okay.
They've been all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a better way of putting it, right?
Yeah.
Someone had a question I saw earlier. Also, shout outs, okay, for the donation. Appreciate you, bro. He's asking who would be the OC if Harbaugh and Fangio were the defensive coordinators.
That's interesting.
Or head coach, defense coordinator.
I know who's good with working with the offenses. I would say like I know Pep Hamilton is kind of related to John Harbaugh, so I know Pep Hamilton's a good coach. He did a lot of great work with Justin Herbert, helped that development with him. He really got him ready for the NFL and got him ready for games and worked on his footwork and really helped him learn how to play the quarterback and to how he's playing right now. I give Herbert a lot of crap just because he's a Chargers guy, but but I still he still reads the field well, and that's a lot of that has to do with Pep Hamilton being his quarterback coach. And I think that's somebody that could be a good OC, whether whatever they do in the offseason, he can come in and he can coach quarterbacks well, and they can it's going to be Harbaugh's offense. Let's keep it real. I mean, Harbaugh's going to have a lot to do with the offense. I mean, he's kind of like an offensive coordinator himself, right? So he's going to have a lot to do with what they want to do on the offense. So when he comes in there, he's going to have he's going to be hands on there. So you need somebody like Pep Hamilton that can work with your quarterback, and I think that'd be a good OC in my opinion.
All right, here's another one for you, Marcus.
Okay.
Thoughts on the offensive line from the second half?
I really can't. I really can't wait to watch it because I really feel like they kind of finally got their recognition of what they've been doing for weeks. In my opinion, I really feel like there's been so many yards left in the field. Sometimes you just got to get those tough 3 or 4. We hear Tiki Barber talking about that. I just don't think they're getting blown up like they were. Week 5, right? They weren't getting they're not getting blown up anymore. They're getting kind of a little bit of they're not getting. So you got to look at it like this way, okay? When your offensive linemen are run blocking, if they're not getting too much push, right? It's okay, right? You could still find a way to get 3 or 4 yards if they're not getting a lot of push. It's when they're getting blown up that's the problem, right? It's the problem that that comes with that is them getting blown up like that, right? I mean, they can't get blown up. They can't blow blocks. If they're not blowing blocks, then you're okay. The running back needs to make it happen if your team's not blowing blocks. I don't care what you're saying. You have to find a way. There's little creases you can find to get 3 or 4 or 5 yards, right? And when they do end up winning on some blocks, then you can get the 16, the 20s that you want to get. So I really feel like they have improved every week with the run game. I just think for some reason Josh Jacobs didn't trust him, or it got to a certain point where he thought he could make every single play. He just gotta hit those holes, and that's why you see Peyton Barber every time he touches the ball. It's 8 yards. So right. Yeah.
Here's another one. They're asking about Diablo's performance tonight. There was 2 plays on the broadcast where I think it was obvious what the responsibility was. One was just a standard cover 3. And they had a play action, so his eyes got a little dirty. I think he didn't get to his landmark well enough. He kind of came too far over towards probably like an outside zone play action or something like that, just based off of kind of the path that he took. And then Jerry Jeudy got behind him on that crosser. Weak hook player has to carry 3 vertical. I said it like a million times on the channel. So he got beat there. And then there's another one, and I thought that it was actually pretty funny because remember when I did the Diablo breakdown like a couple episodes ago. Showed him like I think it was like a 3rd and short situation where he kind of like tried to jump these crossers and then he got hit like on the dig right behind his head. When he was in cover 1, he was the whole player. He was the rat player in cover 1. This week, 4th and 2 comes around, right? He doesn't try to jump it. He has better depth. Drew Lock just, great throw from Drew Lock kind of fitted around him. He'll improve. He's like, you see like the steps, it's baby steps right now, but you see some improvement even though the result is largely the same. But I'm going to go through it. I mean, just judging on the Raiders' ability to stop the run today.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Diablo was a part of that, just along with every other 7 members of that defensive front, so I'm sure he had a good game, but I have to actually cut on the all 22 to figure it out.
All right.
Anything else, Marcus, before we get out of here, man?
No, man, nothing else. I just, it's a win. They ended up winning the game. I do want to say, like, I can see these comments. You got to stop with the offense versus defense thing. This is football, bro. This is a football team. Like, who cares? I don't care who played better than who. Like, who gives a fuck?
Who won the game?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
This is a first take. We don't care. Good job,
Just
defense.
win. Just win.
Shout out Keyshawn Nixon. You know what I mean? Like, shout out Keyshawn Nixon.
Fan of the show, fan of the pod. Okay.
Fan of the podcast, Keyshawn Nixon. So.
All right. Yeah, trust me, I have the Keyshawn Nixon ready to go because everyone was telling me I was crazy for saying Keyshawn Nixon should be on the team over Amik Robertson. I think we've kind of seen who's a better player right now at this point in this scheme at least. But if it was probably a man coverage scheme, I think Amik Robertson would play a little better than that. Anyways, so stay on the lookout for that. We're gonna do the same thing. Our same kind of format that we've been doing. We took the preview show off. It was the holiday season. Everyone had family over. So we apologize for that, Raider Nation, but we're right back at it, delivering content to everyone. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. We had a high of 220 live audience today. That's I think that's our biggest, but it's probably also because we won, right, JD? Because we won, right? So we appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit up, Manscaped for 20% off plus free shipping. Like Marcus said, holiday times are over, but you still need to stay fresh all year round. So make sure you hit up Manscaped. It also helps out the show if you enter the promo code TDL when you're checking out. That's it, Raider Nation. Holla at you.
All right, see ya.